See Beneath Your Beautiful podcast is raw and intimate, sometimes funny, and always entertaining. With new episodes every Saturday, Hara explores our loves, fears, and hopes with a delicious combination of depth and lightness.
What's going on? Peace, love, prosperity, blessings, and balance. This is Chancellor K Jackson checking in from Atlanta, Georgia. Best-selling author of 14 Days in Beijing and You Love and You Learn. Look forward to tapping in with y'all further, for sure.
So 14 Days in Beijing is a book you wrote.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the book and tell me about what happened.
The book is about my last 14 days in China. So to give you a little bit of backstory, I landed my first job after I graduated from college in 2018 out there in China, teaching English to children as young as 3 years old, all the way up to 14. I was supposed to do a year. That's how long my contract was set for. Only ended up doing 6 months. But the first 6 months, best experience I ever had in my life. China was absolutely amazing. People were great. Culture is different, but you can respect it truly. Food was amazing. Encountering different foreigners. And of course, I was out there to work. So working with the kids was absolutely a delight. So I enjoyed every minute and every aspect of China. And then we fast forwarded to April 4th. And that's when things take a turn, like the roller coaster. It was just the high tide just completely just vanishes, just out of thin air. I'm arrested on drug charges, and then I'm detained for 14 days.
Okay.
I have no clue how long I'm supposed to be here. Nobody knows I'm here. Nothing was communicated to me as far as how the process worked, how long I was going to be there, nothing. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew I was there either. So I'm here to tell you I did 14 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have no clue what's going on. So yeah, I was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 people in the cell, 9 wooden beds. It's a roller coaster of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Very, very interesting story, just because I'm the one that was honored to tell it. You know what I'm saying? It's how I am as an individual, how my mindset is. Get to know me as an individual. It's very, very enlightening, because I know most people don't think the way that I do or look at things the way that I do. Mm-hmm. I shed light on things, a lot of things naturally that a lot of people just overlook. And then, of course, it takes place in China. How many of us have been to China?
Right.
You learn a lot about this culture and this land and this group of people that we're very familiar with, but have no real knowledge about.
Right.
Truly. You know what I'm saying?
What was going on through your head if you didn't know why you were locked up and you knew nobody knew you were there?
Let me paint this picture for you. So it's April 4th, 2019. It's a day off for me. It's a Thursday. I'll go through my typical morning preparations. And now I'm back at my apartment, pre-gaming before I head to this event to have fun with colleagues and friends. Mm-hmm. For those that don't know what pre-gaming is, I'm at the apartment drinking and smoking by myself, cooling, enjoying myself before I go out. Mm-hmm. So I get done. I'm getting dressed, getting ready to leave. Here, knock at the door. You can see who it is. 3 officers from the Beijing police on the other side of the door. What possessed them to come knocking on my door? Where they come from? I have no clue. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm sick to my stomach, nervous, because this last people I expected to be on the other side of the door. Mm-hmm. So put everything up, open the door, they walk in. They're questioning me about, you know what I'm saying, drugs and stuff. I'm just sitting here playing the fool like I have no clue what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm from Atlanta. We live by the finesse, we die by the finesse. So I'm just in here acting like I have no clue, trying to finesse the situation. More officers enter the apartment. One of the officers had something in his hand. And they present to me then that I need to pee into this cup. So it's a drug test right there on the spot.
Wow.
And as soon as that was posed, I was like, yeah, it's over with. It's over with. So do the drug test, of course, and fail. Just got done smoking prior to them knocking on my door. So more officers done enter the apartment. Now they're really raiding the apartment. And they're not really like just going mayhem, but they looking for sure.
Yeah.
And by this time, it's like 8, 9 officers in the apartment. You start off with and one of them in particular speaks English fluently. Mm-hmm. And he's interrogating me about, you know what I'm saying, filling the drug test, where I get the weed from, if I had any more, and you know what I'm saying, see if I can give any valuable information as far as a supplier or a source.
Yeah.
I'm from Atlanta, so I'm sitting here finessing. They blitzed me. I played football for the longest, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I came out in the offensive set, I done snapped the ball. Now, oh man, next thing I know, they done sent the whole house. This defense has sent the whole house. They sent all players. I have no clue what to do now. I'm panicking. I'm pissing down my leg.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad. So we're going back and forth. I'm catching myself lying. That's how bad. That's how nervous I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know he catching me lying if I'm catching myself. So we were going back and forth. And once he realized that I wasn't going to give him anything that he could work with, that's when he broke it to me like, bro, the charade is up. Mm-hmm. Like, you caught red-handed, a little bit weed left over. I was so scared. I was so nervous because I had no clue what could, you know what I'm saying, just about just getting caught. That's really what I was scared about, getting caught. And once he made it clear that I was caught red-handed, fear just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, bro, I'm from Atlanta. I live by the finesse. I die by finesse. I live to finesse another day. I got to hold myself accountable at this point. Own up to it, for sure. Confiscate everything, throw the cuffs on me. And now they escort me out the building, sit me down in the van. I'm just sitting here like, man, I can't believe this is happening, but it is happening. Like, just stay positive, man. Trust the process. I know I'm going to be good when it's all said and done.
Yeah. But were you worried because you didn't know their laws, or were you familiar with their laws?
No, not at all. But I know I am going to be good. And it is all said and done. How's it going to play out? I have no clue. But I know I'm going to be good. Mm-hmm. Just trust the process. Take note of every minor detail because this is going to be a great story to tell. Enjoy this high one last time because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen.
They didn't scare you straight. So that happens, doesn't it? When you're like so drunk and then you get scared and you're sober.
I was still faded. I'm still high as hell in the back of the police van. Like, just we get to one precinct and we're there briefly. I'm only there for like 30 minutes. I'm just sitting down handcuffed the whole time. And then they come and get me. We get back in the van. I don't know where we're going. They not communicating anything to me. I'm not asking no questions. So I'm like, I'm going to find out sooner or later. So just be patient. You're going to figure out what's going on. Next thing I know, we had another precinct. This is a bigger one. It has holding cells. So this is where they housed me for the rest of this time period. Mm-hmm. First one, I was only there for like 30 minutes. Second precinct, I'm there for like 14 hours. Within that 14 hours, I did my official interrogation. Took me down to the basement of the precinct, locked me into this electric chair that's all metal, locked my shins, thighs, waist, chest, arms all into one place. Only part of my body I can move is my head. But by this time, I came up with a solid story to finesse them with. So this was a very smooth process, even though, you know what I'm saying, they did a little extra as far as conducting it. But after that, go back upstairs, take my mugshot, handprints, all of that.
Wait. What do you mean you came up with a finessing story? What could you possibly say except I was guilty?
I mean, just came up with some shit like, well, okay, what can I say? But like, literally, that's going to be logical. Okay, well, I could say I was at the mall. No, I went to this Mexican restaurant in downtown Beijing. Meet some friends, we're eating, I'm leaving. As I'm leaving, I'm walking back to the subway station. Some random dude, you know what I'm saying, stopped me, asked me, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, you smoke? I'm just looking at him crazy, like, what you talking about? He's like, you know what I'm saying, you smoke my shit, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Had me follow him to some parking lot that's right by the mall in San Luis, the big mall. Y'all know exactly the mall I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We were in the parking lot. He said, wait here. He walked across the parking lot and entered some apartment complex. And he came back like 15 minutes later with the, you know what I'm saying, the flower. You know what I'm saying? I paid for it, the cash, and shit, I went about my day.
Okay, so that wasn't the truth, right?
No. I pretty much described me. I said, yeah, he about 5'9", 5'10". You know what I'm saying? I described exactly what I had on. The clothes I had on. I came up with a good story to finesse. It's been a good hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm like, that's what I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead the whole time. What is taking place is taking place. Moving forward, what needs to take place for, you know what I'm saying, me to get out of this situation. That's how I'm thinking. As soon as he made it clear I was caught red-handed, all right, for sure. I died by that finesse. Like I said, I lived to finesse another day. So now it's like, okay, what's next? Mm-hmm. Take me back upstairs, take my mugshot, handprint, all that. And now they throw me back in holding cell and I'm there for the remainder of the day until they finally come back and get me. It's definitely nighttime. I don't know what time it is, but the sun's gone. My high is worn off by now. We standing in the lobby and they bring my basket of clothes and tell me to get dressed. So I'm like, oh shit, hey, everything worked out. Hey, the finesse worked. Hey, they bought the statement, everything. Okay, cool. I was compliant. I wasn't, tripping. I wasn't rebellious. Nothing but positive energy. So I'm like, okay, bet everything worked out for sure. Live by the finesse, die by the finesse. So I'm gonna put my clothes on, sitting there waiting, like, okay, what's next? And they was like, oh, follow me behind this door that was behind the front desk. So I entered through the door and now I'm in the hallway. At the end of the hallway, it's a small room at the end of it. Can't really make heads or tails of what this room is. But we walking closer to it, so I'm finna find out sooner or later. Into the room, I can only assume this is like some official evidence room because evidence bags everywhere. Mm-hmm. On shelves, scattered all over the place. So I'm like, okay, this must be like their official evidence room. In front of me is a table. To the right side of the table is 4 TV monitors where they watch the footage from the officer's body camera. On the left side of the table is everything that was confiscated from my apartment. And this is where things get interesting in the book because they weigh the weed right up in front of me. From the reader's standpoint, okay, you're curious about how much weed did he have on him, technically. So that's a fun fact, just to know how much I actually had. But also, like I said, I didn't receive any information. I'm a very spiritual individual. The universe and my ancestors sent me a lot of messages and signs, notifying me or alerting me or informing me on how my process would work or how long I would actually be there. I've never been arrested before. I've never been suspended from school. You know what I'm saying? What type of individual I am. I've never been from school. So for me to be in this amount of trouble, it's interesting. And for the very first time, it's in a communist country on top of that. And then like the fact that they weighing what I got arrested for up right in front of me. They weighed up right in front of me. It totals out to be 1.4 grams. Mm-hmm. Those that partake in cannabis, 1.4 grams ain't a lot of weed. If you don't partake in cannabis, we're talking units of measurement. 1.4 grams of anything is a lot. 1.4 grams. You remove the decimal, 1.4. You take away that point, it's 14. What's the title of the book? 14 Days in Beijing. This is one of the very first signs I received. You locked up, you don't know what's going on. They just so happen to weigh what you got in trouble for out in front of you. And it told us out to be 1.4 grams. And then when it's all said and done, how many days was you locked up? 14.
Mm-hmm. So you had a lot of signs like that?
This is one of them. Everything I didn't describe until this point, this is still the first chapter of the book. It's like a journey you're going to embark on when you read this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know you don't want to tell me the whole book because you want people to read the book.
I'm just going to finish up the first chapter and then I was going to leave y'all on that cliffhanger.
Tell me more.
All right. So they put everything on paper. You know what I'm saying? I can't read none of it. They say sign it for sure. Thumbprint it for sure. They say jump. I say how high? Who am I to sit here and no. Sign, boom. We get back in the van. I don't know what's going on. They crank the car up. I look at the time on the radio. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I got arrested at like 11 something a.m. I ain't ate nothing. I ain't drunk nothing. It was crazy. I wasn't thirsty nor hungry either. So we in the van. We just riding. I'm just like, they got to be taking me home at this point. I've done everything y'all wanted me to do. I've been compliant as I could be. Mm-hmm. I worked with y'all. They got to be taking me home. Riding. 30, 40 minutes pass. And we arrive at this facility with tall walls and barbed wire. And that's when I was like, this is just getting started. This is just getting started. So into the facility, go straight to the nurse's office, do the typical physical. And after that, they take me to change my clothes, give me my uniform, put all my personal stuff in storage. And then they take me upstairs to the second floor where the men are housed. And we get to cell 209. Mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. The CO opens the cell door and instantly my psyche is thrown for a loop at what I see. I see it's 2 Chinese inmates standing up against the wall, backs against the wall, wide awake. And across from them, literally like not even a couple feet, are the beds. And on the beds are the rest of the inmates sleep. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not many people up. So with these 2 individuals being up and me being up, They looking at me crazy as hell because the last thing they expected was a person of color with dreads come walking through the door. The last thing I expected to see was two people sitting here watching people sleep. We just looking at each other crazy like, but what in the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? So I'm looking at the people that sleep. I was describing in the book as a slumber party. Like when we was kids back in the day, it's a limited amount of space to sleep. And so we all just got to make room and just huddle up. That's what it looked like. So I'm sitting there, do a head count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 15 of us in the cell. How many beds? It's 9 beds, and the beds are number of wooden planks. There's 9 of them. So, okay, that's why it looked like a slumber party over there.
Mm-hmm.
Why are these people standing here watching these people sleep? That's neither here nor there. I know I'm not going to get no explanation if I ask. I'm not going to ask regardless. So it's like, it is what it is. It's China. I don't know. So to the left is the bathroom. It's its own separate room, but the walls are all made of glass.
Oh.
So everybody in the cell can see inside. Toilet, which is a squat toilet. A hole in the ground that you squat over.
Uh-huh.
And then shower, a number of water holes with a shower head tied to it. Black mold coats the walls, flies and gnats and shit flying around. It's not the most sanitary place. So I approached the slumber party. I'm looking for a spot to lie down at. One of the inmates that was standing up against the wall, like wake 2 of them up. It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying, make room. And they made room. So I set my bowl. They gave me 1 plastic bowl and 1 plastic spoon to eat out of when it comes time to mealtime. So I put my little bowl of spoon up underneath the cubby, lie down on my back, my hands on my chest, just like this. And I'm just staring up at the bright ass light on the ceiling. And that's when reality truly settled in. So I'm like, man, this shit is real. I'm in here. Nobody knows I'm in here. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to hold myself accountable. There's nobody else that I can blame for me being in this situation other than me. I made a conscious decision that I knew could have got me in a lot of trouble, and I still chose to engage in it. So the fact that, you know what I'm saying, this is how shit has played out, hey, man, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, what needs to take place for me to get out of this situation? This is what I'm saying to myself. So I'm like, okay, nobody knows I'm in here. So first thing first, people got to realize that I'm missing. Well, what needs to take place in order for that to happen? Well, like I said, the day I got arrested, I was getting ready to leave the house to go to an event to meet with colleagues and friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't show up to that event. I'm sure they called. They knew I was coming. I'm sure they called me and I didn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a red flag? No. When I don't show up for work, Saturday morning for my 8 o'clock class, all hell is breaking loose. 1, because they got to find somebody to cover my class last minute.
Mm-hmm.
2, one of the colleagues specifically that I was going to meet at that event Thursday, I work with her at the same school.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't show up for that event. They called me, I didn't answer. And I ain't showing up for work, and they calling me, I answer. Something's wrong. All right. In addition to all of that, I had a girlfriend at the time back in America. Don't respond to 2 of her messages. All hell is breaking loose again.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to have to sit for at least a few days, mainly through this weekend, before I become missing on people's radar.
Mm-hmm.
First thing first, folks got to realize I'm missing and then go on a search for me and realize that I'm in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that probably won't even begin until probably Monday. And here it is, early Friday morning. So I'm like, I'm going to have to sit for sure.
Yeah.
First 3 days, I was the only English speaker, only foreigner in my cell. So communication was non-existent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 people in cell. After that 3rd day, which is chapter 3, chapter 4, day 4, I moved to a new cell. And now amongst 2 other English speakers. And that's when I can start to connect dots as far as how the processing this jail works. Do I know how long I'm going to be here? Hell no. But I have to understand how the process works. So I can communicate with people. Now it's like, okay, I can communicate with the Chinese inmates and I can communicate with the foreigners. So it's like, oh man, just learning about everybody's stories and very, very enlightening. Mm-hmm. How I look at things, handle things, process things. Even in a critical situation like this, I'm very poised, calm. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So it's like, it's a lot that one can take away from this story. And like I said, it takes place in a whole nother realm of the world that none of us are truly familiar with.
Have you always been this way, like seeing the bright side of things?
Yeah, I've been like this my whole life. Yeah, my whole life, yeah. Born with it. I used to annoy people when we were, of course, the kids and like young and stuff. I didn't get respected for it. It wasn't until we started to grow older and, you know what I'm saying, just wiser, and our understanding started to broaden as far as just life and how things work. And that's when I started to truly be valued. Mm-hmm. Same people that didn't like it, they needed it.
How old are you now?
26. And
do you feel like life is opening up for you? I mean, is life good for you? How long ago were you locked up?
22.
I would have been so scared.
Man, I was so poised. So poised, you know what I'm saying? Like, fear is imaginary. And in the critical hour in the fog of war is when a real leader thrives. What type of character somebody truly has. Adversity introduces a man to himself. None of us know who we are until we fail. The best teacher in life is your own experience. Man, a lot of people not used to just my energy and my spirit. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so me. It's not me putting on. Like, nah, this is me 24/7. So it's like, a lot of people, it'd be crazy when I be around certain people. A lot of people have just a lot of trauma and a lot of baggage. And you know what I'm saying? You can tell, you can feel it. And they get around an individual like me, and it's just, that's if I'm taboo. Like, I'm putting on. Mm. Like, I'm too good to be true. Like, I'm trying to get over on them or something. You know what I'm saying?
Have you experienced what you consider trauma in your life?
The most adversity I faced was everything that I was really passionate about. Women, I was passionate about always. And I faced adversity that I wasn't the best looking. I didn't really start attracting female attention till I was 13 years old. So that was something I was late to.
What do you mean? 13's late?
Man, when your little brother that's 17 months younger than you, been pulling females and getting all the female attention since kindergarten. Yeah, it means something. And not just him, all your partners, all your friends.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying, getting attention, but me.
I hear you.
At age 13, that's when things changed for me. And it's like, man, it was a complete polar opposite now. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the whole total end of the spectrum. So that was one aspect, football. I'm very passionate about football. You can coach it now. I didn't start playing until I was 13 as well. Mm-hmm. When I started playing football, that's when my life changed. So I didn't start playing football until I was 13. As soon as I started playing, I was like, yeah, this is something I definitely want to play at the next level. I want to play at a Division I level. I don't care what school, I just want to play at a Division I level. And I kept saying that. And I ended up doing it. Mm-hmm. Now, was it easy? Child, please. I had to get it at the mud, for sure. Mm-hmm. When football came to the end, I done went to college, you know what I'm saying? Then my career's coming to an end. Okay, what's next for you? Who are you? What's your purpose? What do you want out of life? What are you good at? I can't answer none of this. Who are you truly? Mm-hmm. Not this one aspect that you identified as so long as coming to an end. Where do I start? I have no clue. Mm-hmm. I got to start somewhere. I got to try shit. It took 8 months. Interviewing, getting flown out, put up in hotels. It took 8 months, the whole process. But I finally landed something. They just I had to be on the other side of the world. Mm-hmm. Then I get locked up. Now I'm back home. And I'm back to square one. Who are you? What's next? What do you want out of life? Yeah. Now I've been redefining myself up until this point.
I can just say that I'm 54, and it is a question that is just forever. That is a question. Who am I without what I'm doing? Like, who am I inside? It's kind of a lifelong journey, and it's kind of fun if you never expect the answer to be known for sure.
Actually, no, definitely. It's like, I can sit here, I can expand on that about who I am. Chancellor is a man of great character, great integrity, great patience, and great understanding. God amongst men, a masculine nurturer, the encourager, uplifter. You know what I'm saying? I could be a father figure to you, or somebody that's positive male role model. Mm-hmm. And we could be the same age. You could be older than me. Definitely if I'm older than you.
What are some of your flaws?
Flaws?
I mean, I hear how great you are, but there's a human in there.
Exactly. I hear how great you are. I could be, some people might take it as cockiness.
No, it's confidence. I can tell you're genuine. I totally 100% hear what you're saying, and I feel you.
I appreciate it.
I'm just wondering what areas of your life you feel like maybe you can grow in. That's all I'm asking.
It's really just a lot of things as far as financial literacy, can always continue to grow and learn in that. A lot of us have no knowledge of that.
Pointing my finger at myself.
Flaws. I say, I don't know. I think I'm damn near perfect. If I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, toot my own horn, for real, for real. I'm sure I have flaws, for sure. Everybody do. And I can only think probably maybe physical, but then that list still short too.
I'm not trying to contradict you, but I did interview somebody who was talking about, was telling me his dad said, you can do bad things, but the minute you get caught and you know you're wrong, just admit you're wrong and don't fight the police. So what do you think about the fact that even though you were caught, you were still lying? You didn't just say, yeah, oops, that was me. Were you just so scared that you didn't know what was going to happen to you if you had told the truth?
I'm just from Atlanta.
Just finesse.
True characters out here, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these folks not going to be sitting here telling you the truth about who they are, where they come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like with that, you got to be able to see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just really got to be a chameleon out here. You got to be able to adapt and adjust to your situation, your circumstance at any point, any given time.
The name of my podcast is called See Beneath Your Beautiful. And do you know that song by Labyrinth, Beneath Your Beautiful? Okay. Well, what it's about is I get how great you are, but I want to see beneath. I want to see the real you. And so I hear that you're from Atlanta and there's all this finesse, but tell me something about Chancellor that nobody else knows. Like, what do you lay in bed at night thinking about?
Not reaching my fullest potential. Not goddamn succeeding. Failing is my biggest fucking fear. That is my biggest fear. Not reaching my fullest potential that I know I have within myself. I'm a Sagittarius. I have high expectations of myself, higher than anybody else. So if I don't meet my expectations, I don't give a fuck about what anybody else got to say. I'm not content. I'm never content. Like I said, everything I've accomplished this far because I done made this shit happen. I got it out the mud myself.
Yeah.
Not reaching my fullest potential. That's the biggest thing I fear. That's what I sit up and think about, Lord, what could I be doing better? You know what I'm saying? How can I improve? Where do I want to be in the next, of course, 5 years, but look, that's a bit far. Next year, you know what I'm saying? Like setting small goals, you know what I'm saying? To achieve the long goal. What is, you know what I'm saying? And that's to reach the victory lap. It's just a marathon. It's a long journey. It's always going. You're going to get tired. You're going to cramp up. You're going to get fatigued, all that. But with your 10 toes to the ground, but you have to continue to keep running.
Right.
But if you place them first and not, as long as you cross that motherfucking victory lap, man, that's all that matters.
And life is what you make it. And I see that you have such a great perspective on life. I love that.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So where can people buy your book?
So 14 Days in Beijing, got the full story on Amazon. I also have a short story, which is a free version available on Amazon as well. Short story is the first 2 chapters, both available on Amazon. Free version is available on Apple Books as well. I also dropped another novel in November. It's a romance novel, and it piggybacks off of 14 Days. And essentially, it's based on another true story. There's a connection to the first one, but essentially, it's based on me and my life and experiences. It's my first step to gaining emotional intelligence, which I feel like a lot of men lack. It's a great read, great, very entertaining, juicy, all that.
What's the name of the second novel?
You love and you learn.
Have you always been a writer?
Hell no. Hell no. Like I said, it's all just felt like after I got out of jail from China, it's like, okay, I had to redefine myself. I know I got to do something with the story. I ain't go through this for no reason. I got to tell the story. How can I tell it? I have no clue. It wasn't until like July. I got back home in April. You know what I'm saying? July, I'm chilling with one of my friends, and he was a published author before we graduated high school in 2014. So, you know what I'm saying? He's 18 years old, published author. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, bro, you should write a book about it. I'm like, you right. That's a good idea. You for sure. And I'm like, where do I even start? I have no clue. He threw me another alley-oop. He took my phone, went to my notes, gave me a 5-layer outline, very, very brief. And I just started filling it in.
Oh, cool.
And from just filling it in on my notes and made a Google Doc for it and really, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm writing for real. And then 4 months later, I really finished the whole story. And then spent the next 6 months just editing and perfecting and creating the cover, title, and all of that.
I love that you did that.
For today, it's a straight roller coaster. It's like a seesaw.
Can't imagine. Actually, I was arrested at 13 for shoplifting. And they handcuffed me and took me out of the mall, and they put me in a cop car, and then they drove me to the police station, and they put me in a cell, a very small one-person cell. They scared me straight. Never did anything wrong after that. I stole a little $1 box. They scared me straight. I was a pretty good citizen after that.
Never let no hard time humble you. Adversity introduces a man to himself, or a woman to herself. We all face adversity in our life. Wherever you are along your journey and whatever you choose to pursue, you will face adversity. Running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own success or self-destruction. But what's a mistake without the lesson? The best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every person is defined by their reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else? Or yourself? Whatever you choose to do, give your heart to it, give your all. And stay strong, man. Never let no hard time humble us.
I love it. I wish you so much success.
Appreciate you, for sure. True. And likewise.